Hello there. Whether you love it, hate it, or are indifferent to it, this Brexit deal will become law, so we must make it work for the UK. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. And also please check out the new video on our other YouTube channel, Central Broadcast UK, link in the descriptions box below. In just 4 days' time at 11 PM on the 31st of December 2020, the UK will once again become a sovereign, independent nation, and it will also be subject to the new EU-UK Trade Deal Treaty. There is no getting away from it or hiding from it. It will happen. There will be disappointed no-dealers and disappointed remainers. But there will not be a no-deal scenario. There will be no extension to the negotiations. There will be no Brexit reversal. It doesn't matter how much wailing is performed over lost EU passports and the like. No, we are leaving the Brexit Implementation Period this Thursday evening under the new trade deal treaty, and all to the bongs of Big Ben. Now, I set out the sorts of concerns I have with this deal in yesterday's video, but I do have to accept the UK democratic process, as do we all. And yes, it was a proper democratic process, as the courts have ruled. But more than that, it was a thoroughly peaceful democratic process. Unlike other political campaigns I could name, Brexit was not marred by upheaval and unrest. And that peaceful democratic process has resulted in this new trade deal and the UK leaving the control of the EU in 4 days' time. And we all know this will happen because of the parliamentary arithmetic in the House of Commons. The Tories will, in the end, all vote for it, and Keir Starmer has already said that the Labour Party whip position will be to back the Tory deal. Only the Lib Dems and SNP look set to definitely vote against this deal, which is strange in that if they got their way, given the shortness of available time, we'd leave without a deal. And that is precisely what the Lib Dems and the SNP have been against so vociferously in their protestations. The same goes for the House of the House of Lords. How can they possibly vote against this deal after saying for so long that a no-deal cliff edge was the worst possible outcome? So the deal will go through. But even then, from the 1st of January onwards, there will be those that constantly replay the 2016 referendum, continually pointing out where they think the UK's new place in the world is worse than where it was as an EU bit part player. Now here's what Alexander von Schoenberg, editor-at-large for Bild, which is Germany's best-selling newspaper, wrote for the Daily Mail over Christmas. What Mr. Johnson has achieved is a tailor-made agreement that allows full access to your most important market while being able to write your own laws and standards, as long as you play fair, which is something British traders have been renowned for doing for centuries. There will be a mechanism for settling disputes independent of the European Court of Justice, but my guess is that this will hardly ever have to come into play. Your Prime Minister has achieved a deal which is nothing short of sensational, legally out of the EU but with full economic access to it, which is the best possible news for the members of the European Union too. Worth considering that argument, is it not? Overall, this deal, despite some shortcomings, does give the country something substantial to work from. And we all have to realise that standing isolated on mountain tops, shouting and waving flags and fists about what should have been, will achieve the square root of sweet FA. No, we now have to make this work for the UK. But many people will be poring over the legalese of the deal, pointing out that this aspect and that aspect is something they don't like. However, it looks like our parliamentarians will be pulled together this Wednesday the 30th of December to debate and vote on this deal to get it through to royal assent, all in one day. And the steady stream of Brexit secondary legislation that continues to be pumped out every day will then be followed by a deluge on Thursday the 31st. It's done. No more leave versus remain, no more arguing over Brexit extensions, no more talk or machinations about stopping Brexit. But what I'm not saying is that we should all meekly turn away and leave the politicians to it. There are still those that believe that the only future for the UK is as an EU county council, that we can function in no other way. And there are still those like the SNP that believe membership of the EU is the only way to further their own personal political ambitions. And I'll christen these people the Article 49ers. Those that would love to see the UK or Scotland send a letter of intent to join the European Union under Article 49 of the Lisbon Treaty. You never know, that title might catch on. And these are the people that will want to see the UK stay as closely aligned to the EU as possible. For them, every move that takes us a step legally further away from EU law and the ECJ is a disaster. Every trade deal we do outside the EU is another nail in the coffin of the Article 49ers. Every boost in GDP or rise in the sterling exchange rate will dim their rejoiner lamps. And with each passing month, the relevancy of those like the Lib Dem leader Ed Davey, the SNP's Nicola Sturgeon, the Labour peer Lord Adonis and the author A.C. Grayling will decrease. As long, of course, as all those bright, shiny new laws and plans that Boris and his team say they've got ready to unveil all come to fruition, that is. But time in 1 quarter may be short. Nicola Sturgeon is pursuing her separatist agenda with an unseemly haste. It transpires that she's commenced legal proceedings to prove that her Holyrood government has the power to run an IndyRef too, whatever the UK government says. The Times reports, "The battle for the Union will intensify, with a landmark court case next month to decide whether the Scottish Parliament has the power to stage a second independence referendum against the wishes of Boris Johnson." And it's also said they would run an unofficial referendum if they have to. But the Scots Nats might soon find themselves between a rock and a hard place. Far from getting their dream of seamless trade with the UK and seamless trade with the European Union, they might find that independence leaves them out in the cold from both. And if the EU does take them on, their frictionless trade with the remaining parts of the UK will take on the friction of this trade deal that they so rail against, and they're going to vote against it. The politics of Brexit is morphing into the politics of the Union of the United Kingdom. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.